This is the Underwood Library, grades 4 and 5. So we have special seating set up, and the kids take turns sitting there every week. They have to have brought their books back in order to sit in the special seating. The leopard shoe chair is new. They love it. And then anyone can sit in a bucket seat if they don't get assigned to a special seating. Or they can just lay on the rug. Or they can sit at a table. This is the submarine bathtub in the ocean. Or you could sit and pretend like you're at the beach. This is the Clear Fork Elementary Library, where I have kinder and first grade students. And each hallway is a set of classes, and each hallway enters into the library. So we do have a lot of constant traffic and noise and interruptions, but it works. And this is where we have our student centers, so they can have an activity to do while we check in and check out books, because we have 2 classes at one time. And when I'm not, on the weeks I'm not here, my aide, Ms. Emsoff, is here by herself and has to do the controlling of the students, the check-in and the check-out, with 2 classes at once. So this poor little Harry Potter book, bless its heart, gets read a lot. It probably just needs to be replaced. But until I can replace it, we're going to repair it. So it's completely coming apart. So we're going to use our book glue, which is very hard to open sometimes, so you have to go around with this thing to get it to come out. And then we're going to put some glue on the spine. And I hope that this is correct, because I was never taught how to do this. There's some more repair that needs to be done to it as well, but I'll have to come back and do that after this dries. In order to get that to stick and stay together, we're going to wrap it with a rubber band. And we'll let that sit overnight, and then I'll come back and repair some of the other things that we have going on here with some book tape. Okay, so I found a new way to repair books from my site supervisor the other day, instead of using that messy glue. So I'm so excited about this machine. So you take, this is the Cover One machine. You take a book and you heat it in here first. And while that's doing that, I'm going to cut this down, because you don't want it the whole length of your book, because glue will ooze out the ends. And it's not very wide, so I'm going to cut this in half. And they did have this thick cardboard still back there, so I went ahead and peeled it off because it was coming off anyway. So you just wait for this to heat up. This is one book that I've repaired just a minute ago, so now it's cooling. So this should be ready in just a few minutes. And these are ready so much faster. The glue, you have to wrap the rubber band around it and then wait several hours. These are ready within about 15 minutes. Okay. So it's coming apart right here. So I'm gonna put my little glue strip in there. Pull this back out. Put it back in. So no more trying to use that knife to cut the lid open because it's all glued shut. I don't have one of these at my other school at Clear Fork, so I just bought one using my Scholastic dollars. So that was a very good investment. And these are the glue strips. So I bought the machine and a stack of glue strips for the other elementary school I'm at. So I'm excited to get that in. So I've been having to bring those books from Clear Fork, which is Kinder First, over here to repair them with this machine. And then when I go back to Clear Fork next week, I'll take these books with me. But this is a book that I fixed earlier today that is from here. She brought it in this morning, panicked because it had fallen apart. And you can see that it tore the page just a little bit, but it's not at all taken away from the spine. So let's see about this one. So right now it's kind of gooey right there, but if we just leave it closed, a little bit, take this one out, put this one back there to cool and dry, and it'll be ready for the shelf. Students coming in all the time, so they'll need library cards. I'm at Clear Fork Elementary, which is Kinder First, and they come and scan their cards. So I'm going to demonstrate making library cards. So I'll go into our Destiny OPAC system. I'm at Clear Fork this week. Log in. So I'll go to reports. They're considered patrons. So patron reports. I'm going to be making them a barcode label. And it's easier for me to select them by student number. So I'll do barcode list because the barcode is actually just their student ID number. So I'll type in their student ID number. And I just have 2 to do for right now. I can change any of these that I want added onto their library card. Okay, this has the student name and their ID number. So we'll print that. We have teachers' names here because teachers, some of them do the lanyards on their library cards, some do the clips. This is our laminating machine. This is our nifty cabinet for making library cards. So we have Ramirez. We have all the teachers in here. One Ramirez and I have a Floyd. So Ramirez is 232 280. This is on the back of Ramirez. This is on the back of plastic pouches. And then they go in a laminator protector packet. And I have a list up here. So Ramirez is lanyards, and I think Floyd is also lanyards. Yes, Floyd is also lanyards. So some use these clips to clip on the shirt, and other teachers prefer the lanyards. Okay, I'll get that off in a minute. Now these are kind of tangled up. Okay, so once that's taken out, there's their library card. You just clip it on, and then I'll go put it in the teacher's mailbox. That's a library card. So our computer tech came in and let me know that these iPads needed barcodes on the back. So I'm going to go into Destiny. There's our OPAC system. I'm at 2 different schools, so this week I'm at Clear Fork. A couple of steps to log in. Once I'm logged in, then I will go over to, I need to add them first to the circulation. So I'm gonna go to catalog. On the left side, add title. It's considered an equipment. And it's student iPads. I'm gonna choose student iPad. There are 6 of them, so I'll add copies. I'll add 6. I'm going to let it just start on the next barcode. The call number will be student iPad. The price is $300. It is considered an equipment. I'm going to have it print the barcodes for me, so I'll save copies. Yes, I want to add these copies. All right, I can change any of the information here for my label. It will go ahead and print 2. It'll print a spine if I wanted the spine, but we don't do spines for that, spine labels. So I'll go to the next one, which is barcodes. So on this printer, I have to put my labels in face down, which took me a while to remember that, since I have to do that twice. Okay, and here's our barcode labels. I'll attach them to the iPads. And then I'll put a clear sticker over it so the kids can't pick it off, and put it in the iPad cart. That's how you add an iPad. I had emailed teachers asking if there were any specific books they would like to have in the library to go along with their lessons. So I had a few teachers give me specific topics like wordless picture books, books to reinforce color, counting, social skills, behavior, manners, and books to go along with the TEKS in social studies about Texas. I had some teachers that requested specific book titles, and then our science teacher sent me a list of several books that she would like to have. So after I gathered the list, then I
went through and chose some books, and then I sent the teachers an email letting them know that I had collected the titles and suggestions, and I was ordering them from Amazon so they would be here faster, even though I'd have to hand catalog them. But they should be starting to come in at the end of this week. And so then I sent them this list showing them exactly what I had ordered and how I chose the books to be ordered. So this is the list that I have actually ordered that is on their way. And these are all according to teacher request or topics requested by teachers, and then they had me choose the books that I thought would work for this grade level. And this grade level is for kinder and first. The dual language teachers didn't get their list into me before I made this list, so I told them to go ahead and send me a list, and I would get their orders in as well. Okay, on your iPad, you have an app called Destiny UN. Click on that app. You should come to this screen. In order to do specific things on this app, this is our library catalog, online catalog system called Destiny. You need to go up here to where it says login. Click on login. Your login username is UNCIRC. UNCIRC. Your password is UN. Then click enter or submit. You'll come back to the same screen. So it will look like you didn't change anything. Right here are announcements. Sometimes I'll be leaving an announcement for you. Section say,
Recently added books.
recently added books. Okay, what does the next section say?
Popular titles.
Popular titles. What's below that section?
Topics.
Topics. So let's say you come to the library, you can't think of anything to read, and so you don't even know where to start. You could go to topics. So there are more than 200 titles in this list. So surely out of 200 titles, you can find something that you would be interested in reading. Another thing you need to do before you choose a book is look down this middle section. It has the reading level. You need to check that before you waste the time looking for a book. So if you look down here, it's not your reading level, keep going, try a different book. If it is your reading level, let's say I want to read Game Changers. So I can find a book by doing 3 things. First, I need to know what section it's in: easy, fiction, nonfiction, biography. That's what this letter right here tells me, F. So where do you think that is?
Fiction.
Fiction. The next 3 letters tell me the author's last name, the first 3 letters. So after you find the fiction section, you have to look him up alphabetically. Then you look for the title. So I need 3 pieces of information, and I can find any book in this entire library. So I know fiction, I know I'm going to LUP, it's on the spine of the book, and I'm looking for Game Changers. Pages at the end of the cabinets, it tells you exactly where to go. These are the author's last names. So I'm looking for L, here's the L section. So once I'm here, I'm looking for LUP. So I'm looking at the spine of the book. LUP, and I'm looking for Game Changers. And here it is. Is that cool?
Yeah.
So I want you to be able to come to the library and pick the book you want to read, not just going around looking at the colored dot for your reading level. I want you to be able to find books that you are interested in, then find your reading level, and come and get that exact book.
So
Before
I don't
school
know why the
started,
sound
we
is
got
really weird in
together
the
a
background.
PowerPoint
So
with our
I did a voiceover to explain the professional development we did for the Google Classroom slides, and it still is making this weird sound in the background. So I will continue to go ahead and explain the Google Classroom PowerPoint, and then just kind of ignore the growling and noises in the back because I have no idea where that came from. It almost sounds like I'm watching a scary movie, but I wasn't. Kind of creepy. So with the CTCs, that's our computer technology people, we got together and created a PowerPoint for Google Classroom. We're still virtual part of us. It's a choice whether you want to be face-to-face for students or virtual. So we have some teachers teaching virtual, some teachers teaching face-to-face. So this is a Google Classroom PowerPoint on why they should use it, how to use it, how to set it up. It also shows what the student side of Google Classroom would look like as far as the student. So that way they can walk students through things when they have questions about why their screen looks different or where a certain thing is on the screen. So this is the PowerPoint we did for teacher professional development before school started. Since we can't have an in-house book fair, I teamed with Scholastic and we're going to do a virtual book fair. So this week the virtual book fair is at my Underwood campus, which is grades 4 and 5. So I could send the announcement for the book fair through our Parent Square online, which sends notes to parents, notifications. So this is telling them all about the virtual book fair and how they can shop. So they just have to click here, go in, and for Underwood Elementary, and it's through this date, and they just click shop here. And it's not near as much fun as the in-house book fair, but it was better than not having a book fair at all. So I miss the book fair, and this is slow coming up. Oh, here it goes. And here we go. So they'll just sign in to make an account. So the points will go back to Underwood and shop the book fair. So this is our book fair this year for 2020. This is my Bluebonnet book promotion corner. So we have a wall with all of the Bluebonnet nominees with the book jackets up there. And then we set all the Bluebonnet books in this section, either in the bicycle or on the table, and the kids can come over here to check them out. So there are some available, most of them are checked out, and as the kids bring them back, we just put them back on the table or in the bicycle for kids to check out. So there is motivation for the kids to check out a Bluebonnet and to read them. They do have to pass the AR test on it. If there's not an AR test, then they just have to at least tell me about the book so I can get enough information to know that they read the book. And then after, we will have a voting party where they'll come in and vote on their iPad, and we'll discuss the books. I'm also going to be playing a Bluebonnet book trailer, so we'll play 1 or 2 book trailer books for the Bluebonnets between now and then to kind of encourage some of those who haven't checked out the Bluebonnet books to check them out and start reading them. And then we have a Bluebonnet reveal party when the Bluebonnet is, the chosen book is revealed, and we have blue donuts, blue Capri Sun. We announce the winner, and then we talk about if that was the winner they had picked, which one they had picked. We kind of do a chart on who had picked which book, and were we close to picking the winning Bluebonnet book. And last year they actually had picked the winning Bluebonnet book, the El Chupacabra. So they were pretty excited about that. They all get a certificate saying they participated, and they get their picture in the yearbook, and then they get a medal. So we haven't done this in a long time. The librarian before me was an aide, and they didn't do Bluebonnets for the last 2 years. So it's a struggle to get the kids motivated again because they haven't done it before. And this is just a 4th, 5th grade campus. Our librarian on the 2nd, 3rd grade campus does not do Bluebonnet. So the 3rd graders coming up to 4th grade don't know about them. So by the time they get to 5th grade and they've seen the 4th graders experience it, they get a little bit more excited. So I have more 5th grade participation than I do 4th grade, but I'm hoping to change that in the years to come as the kids kind of start seeing how the Bluebonnet Club works.
So for book promotion, I asked all of the teachers if they could tell me what books they liked to read when they were in 4th and 5th grade. I'm at my 4th and 5th grade campus today at Underwood. And so I took a picture of each teacher reading their favorite book from when they were this age. And then they came down and sat in the different seats that we have in the library, the submarine bathtub or the beach chairs or whatever and then I took their picture reading that book. Then I displayed it on the shelves over here, and we put the books beside them. So each teacher has a poster that is front and back, and it says, for example, Mrs. Chavez's book recommendation, There's a Boy in the Girls' Bathroom by Louis Satcher, and then a picture of the book and a picture of Mrs. Chavez reading that book. And then we pulled the books and put the books on the shelf next to the poster. So each teacher in the building, as well as our office staff, has a poster and the book that goes with it. The students are allowed to check out the books that are on top of the cabinets, and then as they come in, we try to remember that these were the books on the cabinets, and I'll leave this out for about a month, and then I take it down and put down a different book promotion.
For professional development, I've gotten into the Junior Library Guild and saw all the list of webcasts that they do. And these are the 4 that I've watched this week. I'm watching Jason Reynolds today at 1 because I have a break during that time, so I'm excited about that. So these are the 4 that I've seen this week. I like them because they're just really short, 45 minutes to an hour, but very informative and give lots of good tips and suggestions and book reviews. So these are the ones that I've done this week. A fundraiser that I do at both schools is called School Store. It used to be called Reading for Education, but now they just call it School Store. And it is a fundraiser. So this letter will go home to parents. I'll actually send this link in Parent Square. So it will be sent to all the parents on Parent Square. They can sign up here and create an account. This pamphlet I will send home with students. I'll discuss it next week, explaining to them what it is. It's helping us to raise money, and the money is actually going to go towards new books for the library at Underwood, my 4th and 5th grade campus, especially to try to replace some of the books that have not been brought back since COVID. And at Clear Fork, we do the same fundraiser, and that's my kinder 1st grade campus. And the money we raise from this for that campus will go towards the book vending machine that I'm working on for the school library project. So if they participate, they automatically get these earbuds. So they've already sent these to me. So after the parents go online, so here are the directions to the parents. They just go online to this, and I'll send them a link to that. They'll sign up using our school code. Then they'll send emails to their family and friends inviting them to participate. And if they send in 10 emails, then they'll get a school code. Once they bring back that school code on this paper right here, then they will automatically win these earbuds. They can also win these other prizes here. If someone that they sent an email to, they're sending them to family and friends. If someone they sent an email to buys a magazine or buys an item from the school store, then students can also earn these other prizes, depending on if any of their people purchase something from the school store. They can also purchase gift cards to the teachers, and we get that a lot. And then the teachers can actually go to the school store and purchase items for their classroom. So this will go out next week with the students at Clear Fork and at Underwood.
Okay, so today I'm going to weed some books. I'm at the Clear Fork campus, kinder and first grade. 18 years ago, we were neighborhood schools, kinder through 6th, and so we had books available for all those reading levels. 18 years ago, when we switched to grade level campuses, they tried to send the books to the correct grade level campus, but we still ended up with way too many books that are 4th, 5th reading level. So I've already done the fiction section, and now we're working on the nonfiction section of weeding out the books that are way above our kids' reading level. So over here we call them orange and green dot. So I'll be selecting most of the orange and green dot books and weeding them. So in Destiny, I'll go to catalog, update copies, track is weeded, and then I can use my scanner to just scan them. So this is a green dot, and these would be, this is way over kinder first grade. The words as well as the concept. Why is it not doing that? Okay, let me see if I can find a different one. We'll do this orange. Oh, I'm at Underwood Elementary. You know, I'm at 2 schools. So in my Destiny, thank you, Miss Emsoff, I'm at Underwood Elementary. No wonder it wasn't finding my book. So I need to be on Clear Fork campus, back to catalog, update copies. Now I can weed them. There we go. Now it's weeding. So then I will take the barcodes off of those, and I'll set them out in case teachers want to take them. If they don't want to take them, we have another program called Olivia's World that we donate books to if we have a lot of books that the students or the teachers don't take. So it is a little confusing having Clear Fork and Underwood and having to toggle back and forth, but as Miss Emsoff pointed out, I would probably have figured it out eventually why none of these would go through. So usually when something doesn't work, I'll look up at the top to see if I am on the right school. So we'll just go through here and delete the books that are too hard for our kiddos. And it'll take us a couple of days in between class, and I have one coming right now. A student at Underwood, which is a 4th and 5th grade campus, is showing pigs this year and would like a book about pigs on the farm. So we do not have that book at Underwood, but they do have the book at Clear Fork. So we're going to do an interlibrary loan for her. So we're going to type in her name here, except that's not how you spell it. Okay, Kinsley. All right, we're going to place a hold. So we're going to go here to holds on the left side. Add a hold. We're going to go by title. Pigs on a Farm. It's not at our library, so we're going to do all participating libraries. Okay, here are 3 of the books that no local copies are found, but we do have them on other campuses. So she wants this one here, so we're going to hold it. We're going to save that hold. We want it from the Clear Fork Elementary. We're going to ship it and save. So it is available at Clear Fork, and the hold will expire on the 14th. So it's also pending, so the librarian there will need to approve it, and then the transaction will go through. So now I'm back.
just so happens I'm also the librarian at Clear Fork Elementary. So I see here when I log into Destiny that I have processing that needs to be taken care of, which is probably a hold. And here it says Kinsley Edwards has requested Pigs on a Farm for Underwood from here. So we're going to click on Ship It and Update. Okay, sorry, I was interrupted by a teacher having a request, so I'm back. We're going to do packing slip. And I will send this with the book through the school mail. So we're going to print that. And this way it lets them know what the title is, where the book is going, who is lending it, which would be Clear Fork, where it's going to Underwood, who has the book, the title of the book with the call number. That way we make sure it gets back to the correct school. So now I'm back to Underwood. I see I have processing that needs to be taken care of. And it shows here that Kinsley Edwards has Pigs on a Farm requested. And I will receive that. And then when Kinsley is through with that book, then I will email it. I will send it back through the school mail to Clear Fork. I'm wanting to update my nonfiction section at Underwood Elementary, which is 4th and 5th grade. So I'm going to run a statistical report and have an idea of what I need to fill in the nonfiction area. So we're going to go to Reports, Statistical Reports, and I want to go to Collection History. I'm going to do it from 2010, which was 10 years ago, just to kind of get an idea. And then I also need to run a report to eliminate some of our books that are very old. I'm just going to do the nonfiction section. So I'm going to do from 0 to 999. And run report. Okay, so this gives me an idea of what books, what percentage of books I have in the collection as far as the Dewey range. We have 163,000 books in this range, but to have just not even a whole percent in the 200 through 299 section, and then the 8 through 899, which we really need to increase that because it's poetry, and we do a big poetry unit for 4th grade, especially in dual language. So this gives me an idea of some things that I need to work on to update the library. Another statistical report I'd like to run is to see which items have not been circulated in a while. So I'm going to go to Reports, Statistics, top bottom titles. I'm going to go with the bottom titles. I'd like to do more than 50, but we'll start with the 50. And I'd like to do the past, not 32, the past 2 years. I'm just going to do books right now. So this gives me a list of books that haven't even been circulated in the past 2 years. So it might be time to weed some of these books, pull them off the shelf, and replace them with something else.
So Mrs. Patterson is going to show me her flexible schedule because I have to have a fixed schedule at my elementary classes, but she's at middle school. So this is how to do a flexible schedule.
So what I do is I create in our Google Calendar, I think they're called appointments, and I just set them up for every class period of the day, and then I send the teachers the link, or it's actually on the website too, and they can go in, and then anytime there's opening, they can just click on whichever periods and day, and then they can see and sign up for whenever they want to come. And I tell them specifically that if they want me to do an activity with their class, they need to email me
Let you know.
about 2 days, 48 hours before, so I have time to plan it and get it set up. And if they don't, then I'm just assuming they're just coming to get books and maybe do a couple of books talks, and that's it, and they're leaving.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I have it. And
And
then,
then in blue, is that
that's my
what's-
stuff. So like
Okay.
when I like this day on Monday, I have 6th graders coming. So instead of having my planning period during the 7th and 8th grade study hall, I do it during the 6th grade study hall. So I mark it in there so I remember.
So
and I
does it
also
show
mark
what class you
my
have
lunch.
coming?
So yeah, this is from the appointment page. So if
Okay.
it goes to my calendar, let me go to that day. It would, let's see, it's going to show them like here.
Oh, okay.
So it's Mrs. Somerville's class. So I know that class is the boost. So it's remedial, and she emailed me, and so I'm going to do an activity with them. But then that tells me, and then I just plan so I put my lunch in there
Mhm.
because I'm open all day long, and
Yes. If you don't close,
if
you
I-
don't get lunch.
You're exactly right.
Mhm.
So,
Yes.
and that's how I have it on. And then when I do my calendar, it'll pop up like this.
Oh, yeah.
And then I can just send that out to everybody for the day. So like this is today's that shows them. And because our schedule is so weird, we have a bell schedule for 6th grade, a bell schedule for 7th grade, and a bell schedule for 8th grade. I just do, since that's why sometimes they're overlapping, I just put the
Right.
whole time period in there, and I just know which grade I have as to what time.
Which bell it's going to be.
Yeah. I know the way that works.
Okay.
So that's
All right.
That's it.
Thank you very much. So this year, due to COVID, we're not able to have an on-campus book fair, which I hate that because I love the book fair. So we are doing an online Scholastic book fair. So this is the email for the Clear Fork book fair. We're also doing one, we've already had one for Underwood, 4th and 5th grade. So this is just from my representative explaining to me how to run the virtual book fair since we've never done that before. They've given some example flyers and things to help out to remind parents and to encourage them to get on. They send us a link that I attach to a letter and a parent square to send out to all the parents. This way the virtual parents can also participate with their students, and so students aren't coming to school at this time. So I clicked on this link. This goes to the shopping and all of the proceeds, well, not all of them, a certain percentage of the proceeds go back to Clear Fork. So that link is specifically for the Clear Fork book fair. So the parents can share it with grandparents and family members, but you can't get to the Clear Fork book fair without that specific link. So here is the link, and it just gives some advertisements, things they might be interested in. And then if they want to shop, they can go here. Over here they can choose by age or grade. So even if they want a book for a different age, this is kinder, 1st grade campus, they could also pick any grade they wanted to. So that was helpful because then they could buy a multiple level of books rather than just what we can offer at the on-campus book fair. So they can shop through here. I've had a lot more participation with the Clear Fork book fair than with the Underwood book fair. Kinder and 1st grade parents are always really excited about participating, and our book fair at Underwood usually goes really well when we have it on campus, and we have muffins for moms one morning and donuts for dads one morning, and then after they have their breakfast they come in with a student and actually shop the book fair and come and check out. So the kids think that's really cool. So the kids aren't as into the virtual book fair as they are into the in-house book fair. But it's better than nothing, and it's what we have for this year during COVID. So that is our promotion for parents and students to participate in the virtual book fair.
A fourth grade student came in asking for suggestions on some books that she should read because she wasn't sure what she wanted to read next. I was going to video her as far as getting in a reference interview and giving her some reading suggestions, but we started it and she just got too shy and then she started giggling. So I decided just to do a video kind of explaining what we had done. So she came in and said that she had read Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing and wanted to find books that were similar to that because she thought it was really funny and interesting. And I had actually suggested this book towards the beginning of the year because it was my favorite book when I was in fourth grade. And I actually still have the same book from when I bought it in the Troll book order from fourth grade. So the kids think that's really neat. So I told her there is a website. So I told her about the website, What Should I Read Next? So I'm also introducing this to my students at the Underwood campus, 4th and 5th grade. So I told her when she goes here, she could type in the title of her book. So we'll see if that pulls it up. So Tales of Fourth Grade Nothing. To click on that. Then it also says, if you liked Tales of Fourth Grade Nothing by Judy Blume, here are some books like this. So here are some other book selections if she liked that book. So I introduced her to the Big Nate series, Beezus and Ramona. She had already read a lot of Junie B. Jones books. She didn't want to read that. So we went through some of these books, and I talked to her about Andrew Clements. So a great author. He passed away last year. I talked to her about reading Frindle because they will read that in 5th grade. So she decided she might be interested in that. So she decided to go with No Talking by Andrew Clements. So she thought it was really neat that she could go to this site and look up all of these other books that would be similar to Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing. And it would give her lots of other suggestions. I also suggested The Mouse and the Motorcycle. That was one of my favorite books when I was growing up. I think she thought maybe that meant the book was really old. So she decided she would go with something else. So I'm really excited to show the rest of the kids this website because they're always coming and asking me, what should I read next? And so I'll ask them, well, what have you read so far? What did you like? What did you not like? Do you want funny? Do you want serious? Do you want animals? So this way they can type in something and they can start searching on their own and find out how to find a book they might be interested in because they have read another book. So Angie decided she is going to go with No Talking by Andrew Clements. She was pretty excited about that. So we'll see how she likes that book. She can also help me get the word out about using the website, What Should I Read Next?